always, you're looking for two great characters or one great character, and the character of Frank Lucas is a man who in the late 60s, early 70s became, if you like, almost the godfather of the black community in New York, in Manhattan, in Harlem. His driving force was heroin. He had traveled into Vietnam at that particular point, done a deal with the Chinese drug whatever you want to call him, dealer, and had come back out, done a deal with Army Transportation, was shipping heroin back into JFK in coffins and body bags. That's not fiction, that's fact, which is pretty extraordinary. Richie Roberts, and that's Denzel. Richie Roberts, who is Russell Crowe, was playing the man who actually was a cop, who had become in the late 60s a kind of leper, that's how they describe it, within his community of cops, other cops, because in those times many of the cops were on the take. And Richie had found $1 million, this is all true, in a car on a drug heist bust. And he, instead of distributing the wealth amongst his colleagues, as that would have normally happened, he put the money into what they call the holding bay, and after that, no one would work with him as a cop. Out of that, he was given a job in a special department to actually run a department against drug enforcement. But they don't come together till about 12, I don't know what it is, maybe 12 minutes from the end, when, I'm not going to say what happens, but then what's interesting, that last 12 minutes, I think really, I was very happy with. And, when you come to a point in the story when you've got two actors, no matter how great the actors are, talking across a table, you don't want a 9-minute scene. That was a scene I was always worried about, but actually I think it turns out to be one of the best scenes of the movie. Yeah, my brother's worked with him 4 times, so, and brothers always talk, so I knew a little bit. I knew a little bit about him before I got there.
What did he say? What did your brother say?
No, my brother said, actually, he's working with them again in the new year. So he obviously likes it. And, when you're working with an actor of that capability and formidability, a lot of it's real. A lot of that's in there is real. Same with Russell. Russell, I think, is one of the great chameleons. He loves.
Do you think he gets bad press though? Because everyone presents him as this bad boy who's quite rude and.
Who both? You mean? Both of them.
Well, no, not obviously. Denzel's always presented as a nice guy, but Russell Russell quite well.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just doesn't suffer. How do you say it? He doesn't really suffer. It's a really unkind expression, but I'll say it anyway. He doesn't suffer fools. So you've got to be on your game when you actually meet him. It's what I do. I mean, I always include music. When I'm making a film, I'm already thinking, when I'm preparing the film, I'm thinking of the music. And particularly, this is one of the big attractions for me doing this film, because don't forget, that's my era, 60s, 70s. And so I was in Harlem and in that time, so I knew a lot of it. So a lot of people telling me what the music was, I knew what the music was because I was there. And working with the boys, Carmen, T.I. and RZA, were extraordinarily professional, and I think Carmen said it better. He said, when I'm doing what I'm doing as a singer, he said, really he's performing, he's acting. So he said, I find the transition to being in front of the camera as an actor almost a natural step, and all of them did really well. I was very impressed.